All right, what's going on, Bird Gang? Big Country coming to you from the Berg. First, I want to say, like my channel, subscribe to my channel. Comment on my videos if you want, subscribe, whatever. Just let me know that you're watching. Thank you for all who have subscribed to my channel and looking for a bright future from Big Country 86. So thank you again to all my subscribers and anyone else. Again, it's a link to my channel. Subscribe to it, comment on it, like it. Y'all know what to do. But tough loss yesterday. Tough loss. I mean, I wouldn't care if it was any other team. But of course, it hurts worse when it's the Dallas Cowboys because they already think they're the best team in this organization and that they're going to Super Bowl. Now with this win, they're just all over the place. Cowboys fans. I've never seen so many Cowboys fans in my life now. It's like they've come out of hiding, they've come out from hibernating, and it's annoying. It really is. So I'll have to hear when I go back to work. But I mean, what can we do? They got a lucky break, off a tip pass. They may say otherwise, the Cowboys fans, but we know what happened. The Eagles got robbed this game from the first possession to the last possession. From that fumble that they couldn't determine who got the ball, even though there was 4 or 5 Eagles around that ball, to the Dallas Goedert offensive pass interference, and then you had the pass interference on, I think it was Douglas or Jones that got him the first down, even though it wasn't. But again, we can't. The game's over. Can't make any excuses. What's done is done. We lost. They won. They're still in first place. We're still in second place. We just got to keep playing football. Carson Wentz was 22 for 32, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and his passer rating was 120. This is our issue right here. I'm just going to go over running back stats. This is our issue. Our running backs together combined had 9 carries for, I want to say, 41 yards. Adams had 7 carries for 36 yards. Smallwood had 1 carry for 3 yards, and then Darren Sproles had 1 carry for 2 yards. So what? 36. That's 41. So 9 carries for 41 yards for our backs the whole game. We used Josh Adams half of the first half. Well, not even half of the first half, and then we didn't see him the rest of the time. I think we threw like almost the end of the fourth quarter, and we really didn't get into the overtime because Dallas just kept the possession. But I'll go over that once I'm done with my stats. Wide receivers, Carson Wentz was kind of spreading the ball around. He's still looking for Ertz, blah, 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 but I'll go over that. Nelson Aguilar had 2 carries for, excuse me, not 2 carries, two catches for 49 yards. I don't know how many targets these receivers had, but I'm just going over stats. Zach Ertz had 5 touches for 38 yards. Dallas Goedert had 4 touches for 44 yards, 1 touchdown. It should have been more yards. He should have had more yards and another touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey had 6 touches for 50 yards and a touchdown. And then Darren Sproles had his 3 touches for 34 yards and a touchdown. Carson Wentz was just looking awful, awful, awful. I can't blame this loss on him, unfortunately. Yes, he does have part in this, but it's not all on Carson Wentz. Defense for sure. Defense and offense just not executing. And then Jake Elliott, when we needed it, misses a damn field goal. It's like he can make the 60 yards and the 50 yards and the 40 yards, but when it comes to the 20s and the 10s and when we need the extra point, he doesn't get it. So that kind of changed too. If he would have made that I think it would have been a different outcome. But Rasul Douglas with that clutch interception in the end zone, and then you had Corey Graham with his interception, which Corey Graham should have got that touchdown, but unfortunately he didn't. So momentum was not ours at all in this game. We got the momentum, and then we get a flag. Then we get the momentum again, then we get a flag. Then we get the momentum again, then we get a flag. So we did not play up to par, and defense was just horrible. We gave up 450 yards to Dak Prescott. That's got to change. This whole season, we've been giving up more than 300 plus yards to these quarterbacks, and something's wrong with that. What is the defense doing? I can tell you what they're doing. We're playing too soft. We're playing, 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. We're playing soft coverage when we need to play bump and run. The zone is not working. Apparently, the zone's not working, as you can see, when we're giving up 450 yards. They're slaying the shit out of us and getting it every time. Every time. Just want to go over this Amari Cooper thing too. Our defense was on the field for almost 30 minutes, really. Then in overtime, of course, they win the coin toss and get the ball. But before I go into overtime, everyone's saying that Amari Cooper, torched us. Of course, he's gonna torch us. 30 with our defense on the field for 30 minutes. That's a long time, and he's not even on the field for that 30 minutes. So, of course, when he's fresh legs, he's going to come in and he's going to burn our receivers. But our secondary was horrible. They showed their weakness yesterday, especially Devontae Bosby when he was covering Amari Cooper, and it's like he just looked at him, catch the ball, and just let him go. Just let him go for the touchdown. And then Sidney Jones re-aggravated his hamstring. So, just I don't know. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be positive about how we played, but we just played sloppy. We played sloppy, on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, and it didn't help. We didn't have a running game. It's like our running backs get hot, and then Doug Peterson says, "Okay, we're just going to take him out of the equation. We're going to let Carson Wentz pass for 60 attempts," and that's what it seems like. So he got 50 attempts. I don't know, but something's got to change next season. If we don't make the playoffs, something has to change. Schwartz has got to go. Mike Grove's got to go. Training staff has got to go. It's ridiculous how our players are ready to go for the next week, and then all of a sudden they're out for the season. So I don't know. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. But again, going back to that first play of the game with the fumble, Camus Hill, picking up that fumble. How can you not see that? They have that big old jumbotron in Dallas that they can see it. They can see everything. I'm sure they can see the pimples on my face if I was on that screen. How can they not see that the Eagles cover that ball? When Malcolm Jenkins got that hit on their special teams player, and he fumbled. Yes, they got that right. He fumbled, but there were four or five Eagles players on that ball. What does it matter if you can't see who picked up the ball? There's 4 or 5 Eagles on that ball. That should have been Eagles foot. That should have been Eagles ball. And I think that play right there kind of decided the game. Really, the momentum really wasn't ours the whole game. So I feel like if we would have got that, the momentum would have been there would have been a different outcome if that play was ours. If the Dallas Goedert offensive pass interference call didn't happen, if Jake Elliott made his field goal, we would have won that game. Guaranteed, we would have won that game. But again, I'm not making excuses because we played horrible until we really needed to make some things happen, and then that's when they wanted to start going. Yes, Carson Wentz is hurt. Yes, everyone else is hurt, but they're not playing. They're not playing. They They don't look serious out there. They really don't. Um, and not comparing them to last year, but they just don't have the fight that we did last year. And I'm not one of those fans who thought that we would repeat. I knew it was gonna be tough, especially with all the injuries we've had. Then everybody going down almost every week, so it's just a tough break. And then of course Rasul Douglas, my heart breaks for him because Amari Cooper really just got a lucky break and kept his eye on the ball and ran it, got it in for the touchdown. So, he's the hero of that game. Now they're the best team. They're going to the Super Bowl. Blah blah blah, but they just got a lucky break. So I'm sure Eagles or Cowboys fans will say otherwise, but that's really all it is. The first game we played them, they just won fair and square. Our defense just didn't show up. But this game, our defense was was on point from the fourth quarter on to overtime. Even though in overtime Dallas was just getting it. But that last play was luck, really just luck of the draw. And unfortunately, the best, not the best team won, but they just got a lucky break. Really, they just got a lucky break. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I mean, we got to keep playing football. We have the Rams coming up on Sunday night. They just lost last night. So any given Sunday, any team can be beat. But the problem is we can't beat those teams. So where do we do? Where do we go from here? What do we do? So we got to keep playing football. Smash mouth football. We got to get that running game going. I feel like that needs to change next year. Next year, we need to run the ball. We need to run the ball. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We have to run the ball. Hopefully Golden Tate stays. A lot of our players are going to be free agents, so it's going to be interesting to see who we keep. So we just need to clean house. Offense, defense, training staff, everybody. We just need to clean house. So, unfortunately, heartbreaking loss, but nothing we can do. Just got to keep playing football. So, again, y'all, subscribe to my channel, like my videos. Just let me know you're watching. And that's it for me, y'all. So, on to the Rams Sunday night, and let's get her done. So, that is my time. Fly, Eagles, fly. 3 green, win or lose. And y'all know what to do. Always make somebody smile. I'm out of here. Peace.